Okay, so when loading a pallet into the van, to prep the van to start with, you're going to put a pallet on this wall, and that's in order to keep the pallet off that wall and get the pallet ending up in the centre of the van. Once you have that pallet in, you go in and you make sure your ratchet strap, there should be a ratchet strap left on this always, but if not, put it on, looped in so it's around like that, and then it runs around the back of the pallet, in through this hole and in through this hole. So you can see it comes in from there and then through the middle, and then put it up along here and tuck it in a wee bit so it's basically out of your way until the pallet comes in, and it's not and it's easily accessible once you've put the pallet in for the next step. So the next important part then is to make sure you're right with your combi lift going in. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that the forks are all the way over to the right hand side, so you can see them here being moved over to the right hand side. You then want to make sure that your pallet, your forks are on the centre of the pallet when going into the pallet. Another factor to take into account is the way your pallet is. So you can see this pallet is slightly shifted over to the left. So we want that to be up against this wall at the end, is going to be the best position for that, so that when it's in the van, it's in the most stable position. So we've moved from this side of the pallet over to this side of the pallet to lift it from this side instead, so that the part that's overhanging is going to end up on the left, up against the wall of the van. So we've now it on the combi lift, and make sure that the forks have been pulled back in so the combi lift is its most stable condition when you're moving it into the van. Okay, so you're now going to move your pallet into the van, coming in right in the centre. So between here and here you have a gap, and you're coming right in the centre. This is where it's important, where we did the side shift earlier, so that at the end then we have room to manoeuvre that straight up to the bulkhead. So now the pallet's in, it's back nearly to this red pallet, but just a couple of millimeters off, so that we have room still to maneuver it back towards the bulkhead. So you just check that first, make sure it's in a good position, and then you're going to go back out and finish the final step of putting it in, where you're going to side shift it up into the bulkhead. So you can see now this is off the back wall, there's a gap, and we need it right up against the back wall. So we're going to use the side shift option now to move it. So you can see it's coming over there now because you'd set that up earlier, and you can see now it's hitting the back wall, and we're going to give it a little push back in now as the final step, so it's hitting up against the red pallet as well, and that's the pallet loaded. So we've it all ratchet strapped in now. So basically you have your ratchet strap here hooked in, you've dropped it down, and you've came to here. This is with your handle. You've then, the strap is coming around from the back, which we've already discussed. I'll show you that again. So it's coming in from here. So it's dropping in from the back, in around the back, in around here, in around here, in around there, and then here, and then it's ratchet strapped. And then the final thing, just put that up so it's not rattling on you the whole time. Nice and neat. And that's it all in. Not going anywhere.